Hey everybody, welcome back to Mobile Production and Networking. I'm your host, Mike Bodine, and actually recently I just changed the name to Mobile Production. It was easier. I still want to network, but it was easier. And I created a new logo, which I think is way better than the old one. So today I want to talk about the Beastcam app. Now the Beastcam app, as you all know, I've used for quite a while, but here recently I discovered that the cinematic stabilization mode. Now, when I first tested this out, like whenever I reviewed it like almost a year ago now, it didn't work well. It dropped frames. If you were filming 60 frames a second, it would drop frames to like 30 to 40 frames a second, which was impossible to use slow-mo, and it was all choppy and jittery and crappy. So recently I was just testing stuff out, and then I noticed at some point they fixed it. So now you can actually run 60 frames a second in stabilization mode or in cinematic mode. Cinematic, if you don't know, it's basically treating your phone like a gimbal. So there'll be a delay when you're moving it around like this, just kind of like a gimbal, of how a gimbal sways back and forth. You're going to have that delay, which creates stabilization. So I've actually used it recently on several projects, and it's worked out fantastic. That coupled with the new features of Lumafusion, how it has stabilization built in from Final Cut Pro, the same guys that did Final Cut Pro, it just works really well, and it might eliminate your whole use for using a gimbal. But I'm sure you're still going to have those situations where you need to use a gimbal, but I highly encourage you to check out the stabilization cinematic mode in the Beastcam app. So I'm a big Beastcam supporter, Beastgrip supporter. I think they're fantastic. The one thing I want to touch on is you have several companies. You have Sandmark, you have Moment, you have Beastcam, you have Beastgrip, you have ShiftCam, you have Moondog Labs, which Moondog's pretty isolated because they just create the anamorphic lens, but all those other companies are great. Sandmark's great. I think Sandmark could work a little better on their compatibility with different filters and things like that, and being proprietary. I guess it's kind of like Moments, except Moment when you buy theirs, it works with all the lenses. So I really like that all the Beastcam or the Beastgrip lenses are 58 millimeter. It works well for using any kind of filter you want. I recently got a Blackmist filter that I used for some interviews. It worked out well. It kind of gives it that a little bit of a glow, a little bit of a more camera feel, a little less sharp. Although I do like the sharpness, I took it off for this video. But I will tell you, I highly support that company. That company is dedicated for people like us in mobile production, for people that want to produce professional content on their phones. People want the portability. People want the accessories. People don't want to spend $2,000 on a lens just because they want to get an anamorphic look or a super fisheye look or any kind of special lens, wide angle, anything. I mean, I'm sitting here with a phone that you already have anyways, and then the lenses are tops $170, and they're great. So I highly support Beastgrip. They've never let me down. The customer support is great, and I am not sponsored by Beastgrip whatsoever. It's just the one that I picked out that I like the best. I mean, it wasn't my first. My first was Moment, and Moment makes great stuff. I just feel like Moment has this vibe of, we're going to get on whatever hipstery thing we can, and we get these cameras that they look retro and whatever, and they still have the mobile stuff, but they really haven't done anything in the game to really up the ante in quite a while. So Beastgrip is always on the edge of making sure their cages are starting to get designed as soon as the new phones come out. But get off my soapbox and back to the stabilization mode for cinematic stabilization. So I'm going to show you some videos right now, and then we'll be right back.
Beastcam.